Just once in a lifetime, a man knows a moment.
Well,
Sort of the question on the play.
yeah, it is.
Where does it come from?
Where
Why
does
is
it
it
come
unusual?
from? There's many different reasons why I have an affinity for him. I most definitely saw him on TV a lot. He was on every television show. I mean, he was on All in the Family. He was on Circus of the Stars. He was on Flip Wilson, and I think he was even on Sanford and Son. And I mean, he just Carol Burnett show. He did everything.
And he had his own show.
And he had his own show, and he just seemed to be the black guy that always appeared on these television shows. It was always Sammy Davis Jr. And Sammy really had a hold on all of those shows, and I saw them when I was little. I also just innately knew that he was not only talented and special, but that he was a person who did something. I didn't know really what that something was, but I knew that he carried on some kind of legacy. And I think that was something that really attracted me to him. And it wasn't until I really got into high school, college. Once I got to college, I realized, oh man, he did Broadway, he did television, he did some movies, he did Vegas.
He was just opening so many doors.
Opening so many doors and doing so many different types of forms of entertainment. And then on top of that, as an American, he was involved in politics and, was just socially an incredible person. So I became fascinated with him young, but I didn't know that it was going to turn into this.
It's definitely one of the things in the play that we try to explore is, yes, all of that, but why? What is it about you? Like, what is it about, when we choose an idol, that choice inevitably says something about who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're trying to sort of flip the mirror around in this play and say, we can list all of the things about why Sammy Davis Jr. was so great and why he would attract a young kid's attention, but then trying to turn around and say, yeah, but what is it about someone like Eric who would choose Sammy as an idol, and what does that mean?
So he obviously broke down a lot of barriers and did a lot of different things, but if there wasn't a Sammy Davis Jr. Doing what he did then, I don't think that things would have progressed as quickly.
You wouldn't have Michael Jackson.
Yeah, you wouldn't have Michael Jackson.
You wouldn't have
Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Wayne Brady.
Yeah.
Like
he was a bridge
Mm-hmm.
from one generation to now.
And
he
continues
was
to
the
be.
only one really bridging that gap.
Prior to Sammy Davis Jr., audiences who came to see black people in shows, they were used to looking at the actors who they only looked at each other on stage. They
like
didn't
black
look
actors
out
would
to
only deal with one another.
on
Sammy was
stage.
the first person to break that and
look
talk
out
to
to
you.
the audience.
Whether it was a black audience or a white audience, he would actually look out and talk directly to the audience, and that was like breaking a major wall.
It was huge. It was huge. So the fact that he could have that connection one-on-one, or it felt one-on-one to him, was pretty masterful and legendary. I mean, he was a pioneer for doing that.
Yeah, definitely a pioneer. And I think that one of the things that we talk about in this play is, what it might mean for people today, is that the character of me, the character of me in the play, which Eric plays me, plus he plays like 30 other people, but that the character of me seems kind of stuck in the middle. He's an African-American kid who grows up in a white town on a white street with white friends, and someone who feels like, I don't totally feel like I fit into this world, and I don't totally feel like I fit into that world, and that Sammy Davis Jr. was someone who I think felt kind of stuck in the middle too. And I think that's true for a lot of people. After the show comes down at night, a lot of audience members will come up to Eric and grab him by the shoulders and say, that's me. I know what it feels like to be the only one. So I think that the story really resonates in that way.
Very much so. Magical is honestly the first word that comes to my brain, because I remember this room having such great energy with Jesus Christ Superstar. It was a massive production. I don't even know how many people. I think it was almost 60 people in that show. It was crazy. But the moment that I walked in here, I felt safe. Walking into this rehearsal room, walking into the Alliance Theater, walking into the Woodruff Art Center, being in Atlanta, I feel safe. And so I'm glad that I had that connection with the audience of Jesus Christ Superstar before, coming here to share Sammy Me, because I feel like, in a way, I'm coming to a theatrical home for me. Yeah.
Jesse, let's talk about his album.
Well, it's my debut CD. It's a collection of songs that were recorded by Sammy Davis Jr. It's not really. I didn't approach it like it's a cover album, because a lot of them are American standards. I do Hey There, I do Once in a Lifetime, What Kind of Fool Am I? I even do Keep Your Eye on the Sparrow, and I Want to Be With You, which of course are songs that Sammy made famous, but a lot of other people had some great success with these songs as well. I'm really, really pleased with the outcome of it. I kind of put my own spin on it and thought about what would Sammy Davis Jr. do with these songs in 2010. So I kind of approached it with that feeling. And so that Old Black Magic and a lot of the other songs that are on there have a very contemporary feel. And it's really, really exciting. I'm very pleased with it. I hope people check it out.
It's a slick album. People should get it.
Yeah, it's
Just once in a lifetime, a man knows a moment, one wonderful moment.